Tomorrow, something is going to land in your life that doesn't make sense. An offer, an opportunity, maybe even just a piece of information. But your first reaction is going to be wrong. And here's the thing, if you trust that initial reaction, if you let your gut feeling decide for you, you could be walking away from the single biggest breakthrough of your entire year. This isn't just another planetary alignment. Tomorrow, January 30th, Mercury in Aquarius forms an exact quincunx with Jupiter in Cancer, a 150-degree angle that astrologers call the aspect of the plot twist. And when I tell you this is one of the most misunderstood transits in all of astrology, I mean it. Most people will completely miss what's happening. They'll feel the friction, sense something's off, and immediately reject whatever's being presented to them. But you're not most people. You're here because something told you to pay attention. And if you've been feeling pulled in two different directions lately, like your heart wants one thing but your mind is screaming something else entirely, keep watching. Because there's one specific reason this internal war is happening to you right now, and I'll explain exactly what it means later in this video. First, you need to understand why tomorrow is different, why this particular cosmic moment has the power to completely redirect your path. Because while everyone else is saying no to the wrong offer, the awakened ones, the ones who recognize the twist, they're about to say yes to something that changes everything. The universe doesn't give you what you want, it gives you what you need. Let's talk about what's really happening in the sky right now. For the first 3 weeks of January, we were drowning in Capricorn energy. Structure, tradition, the safe path, the logical next step. Everything felt predictable, methodical, like you were climbing a ladder rung by rung. But then, in the span of just a few days, everything shifted. Venus moved into Aquarius on the 17th, the Sun followed on the 19th, Mercury entered Aquarius on the 20th, and Mars, the planet of action, jumped into Aquarius on the 23rd. Suddenly, the entire energetic landscape changed. We went from earth to air, from stability to innovation, from "this is how it's always been done" to "what if we tried something completely different?" And this is where tomorrow's aspect gets interesting, because Mercury, the planet of communication, information, and decision-making, is now operating in Aquarius mode. It's thinking about the future, it's processing possibilities, it's asking, what could this become? But Jupiter, the planet of expansion, opportunity, and belief systems, is retrograde in Cancer, and Cancer doesn't care about the future. Cancer cares about safety, security, emotional comfort, the familiar warmth of what's already known. So when these two planets form this 150-degree quincunx tomorrow, they're speaking completely different languages. And that's exactly why the offer feels wrong. It's not that the offer is bad, it's that your filter is outdated. Here's what most people don't understand about the quincunx. It's not telling you the opportunity is bad, it's telling you that your current way of evaluating opportunities is outdated. Think about it like this. Imagine you've been wearing glasses with a specific prescription for years. You can see clearly through them. They work. But then someone hands you a new pair with a completely different prescription, and suddenly everything looks distorted and weird. That doesn't mean the new glasses are broken. It means your eyes haven't adjusted yet. That's what's happening tomorrow. Mercury in Aquarius is handing you an opportunity that requires a new way of seeing. But Jupiter in Cancer is still looking through the old lens, the one that prioritizes emotional safety above all else. The offer feels wrong because it doesn't fit the framework you've been using to make decisions. It doesn't check the boxes you're used to checking. It doesn't provide the kind of security blanket Jupiter in Cancer desperately wants. But here's the twist. That discomfort, that feeling of "this doesn't make sense," that's actually the signal that this is exactly what you need. Yesterday's charm becomes tomorrow's crisis, and that's the design. Now, before we go any further, you need to know about what happened yesterday. On January 29th, Mercury formed an exact conjunction with Venus in Aquarius. This is crucial. When Mercury and Venus come together, they create charm, persuasion, attraction. The idea looks good on paper, the proposal sounds exciting, the opportunity feels shiny and new. You're intellectually seduced by it. So yesterday, you might have encountered something, a conversation, an offer, an idea that genuinely interested you. It appealed to your mind. It made logical sense from a future-oriented perspective. But then tomorrow hits. Mercury moves forward, separating from Venus and landing in an exact quincunx with Jupiter, and suddenly, that thing that seemed so appealing yesterday triggers every alarm bell in your emotional security system. This is the cosmic setup. The universe isn't playing fair. It showed you something attractive first, got you interested, and now it's testing whether you'll follow through when it starts to feel uncomfortable. And here's what nobody tells you. This 2-day sequence, attraction followed by disorientation, is the specific astrological signature of the wrong offer. The thing that looks good but feels unsafe. The opportunity that makes sense logically but terrifies you emotionally. The 3 signs standing at the crossroads. While every sign will feel this energy in the background, 3 zodiac signs are positioned at the absolute epicenter of this cosmic plot twist. If you're a Cancer, Aquarius, or Gemini, what happens tomorrow isn't just a passing transit, it's a pivotal life moment. Let's start with Cancer because this one hits deep. Cancer, the offer that threatens your foundation. If you're a Cancer, Jupiter has been expanding your sense of self all month. You've been growing, evolving, maybe even feeling more confident in who you are. But Jupiter is retrograde, which means this growth has been happening internally, quietly, in ways that others might not even see. Tomorrow, Mercury in Aquarius is going to send you an offer from the outside world, and it's going to come through the 8th house, the realm of shared resources, debt, intimacy, transformation. This might be a financial opportunity that requires you to merge your assets with someone else. It might be a business partnership that demands vulnerability. It might be a contract that asks you to put yourself out there in a way that feels exposed. And here's why it feels wrong. The offer is going to seem cold, detached, transactional. Everything in you wants warmth, emotional connection, a sense that this is about more than just numbers or logic. But the twist, this cold offer is actually the pathway to the emotional security you're craving. By accepting the Aquarius logic, by saying yes to something that doesn't feel cozy and safe, you're actually creating the financial or relational foundation that will give you the freedom to feel secure in the long run. The moon enters Cancer tomorrow too, amplifying all of this. You're going to feel everything tenfold. And that's exactly why you need to pause before saying no. Aquarius, the vision that destroys your schedule. Aquarius, you've been on fire this month. With the Sun, Mercury, Venus, and Mars all in your sign, you're radiating brilliance. Ideas are flowing. Your creativity is peaked. You feel unstoppable. But here's the problem. Jupiter in Cancer is sitting in your 6th house, the house of daily routines, health, and obligations. And it's retrograde, which means something in your day-to-day life has been expanding to the point of overwhelm. Maybe it's work projects that have ballooned out of control. Maybe it's health issues demanding more attention than you expected. Maybe it's just the sheer volume of tasks crushing your schedule. Tomorrow's offer is going to be something that excites your vision, a prestigious opportunity, a chance to step into the spotlight, something aligned with your genius. But the moment you consider it, you're going to realize you don't have the bandwidth. Your schedule is already maxed out, your energy is already depleted, and this is where most Aquarians will make the mistake. They'll say, I can't do this right now, I don't have the capacity. But the twist, the offer isn't asking you to do more, it's forcing you to optimize. It's demanding that you delete the busy work, delegate the tasks that don't require your genius, and restructure your entire daily routine around what actually matters. The discomfort you're feeling isn't a sign to say no, it's a sign that your current system is broken, and this opportunity is the catalyst to fix it. Gemini, the expensive dream. Gemini, Mercury is your ruling planet, so you're feeling this transit more acutely than anyone else. Mercury in your 9th house is lighting up your vision for the future, travel, education, expansion, the big idea you've been wanting to pursue. But Jupiter retrograde is sitting in your second house of money and values, making you hyper-aware of every dollar, every resource, every financial limitation. Tomorrow's offer is going to cost you something. Maybe it's an expensive course or certification. Maybe it's a trip that requires a significant investment. Maybe it's a publishing deal or educational opportunity that demands you put skin in the game financially. And your immediate reaction is going to be, I can't afford this, the math doesn't make sense right now. But here's the twist, the friction you're feeling isn't about the money, it's about what you value. This offer is challenging you to put your money where your mind is, to invest in the knowledge, the experience, the vision that your ninth house Mercury is screaming for. The discomfort isn't a sign that you're being irresponsible, it's a sign that your value system is expanding to match your intellectual ambitions. And if you say yes, even when the numbers feel tight, you're not just buying an experience, you're investing in becoming the version of yourself who thinks bigger. What makes an offer feel wrong? The quincunx breakdown. Let me explain the mechanics of why this specific aspect creates such intense cognitive dissonance. The quincunx connects two signs that share nothing in common. No element, no modality, no polarity. They're astrological strangers. Aquarius is air, fixed and masculine. It operates on detachment, logic and social idealism. It asks, is this efficient? Is this innovative? Does this serve the collective? Cancer is water, cardinal and feminine. It operates on emotion, intuition and personal safety. It asks, does this feel right? Will this protect my home? Does this nurture me? When these energies try to occupy the same decision-making space, they create a blind spot. You literally cannot see how to reconcile them because they're speaking incompatible languages. So the offer that arrives tomorrow will trigger this exact conflict. Your mind will say, this is brilliant, this makes logical sense, this is the future. Your heart will say, this feels unsafe, this threatens my foundation, this is too big of a risk. And because you can't blend these perspectives, you have to choose. Do you trust the detached logic of Aquarius, or do you honor the emotional safety of Cancer? Most people choose safety. They reject the Aquarius offer and retreat back into the Cancer comfort zone, but the awakened ones recognize the pattern. They understand that growth requires adjustment, that sometimes the only way to protect what you love is to risk what you have. The 48-hour rule, don't make the decision tomorrow. Here's a critical piece of practical advice. Do not make the final decision tomorrow. The quincunx creates a blind spot, which means your perspective is inherently limited on January 30th. On the 29th, when Mercury conjuncts Venus, you'll feel the attraction, the dopamine hit, the intellectual excitement. On the 30th, when Mercury quincunxes Jupiter, you'll feel the fear, the hesitation, the emotional resistance, but neither of these moments gives you the complete picture. Wait until February 1st or 2nd. By then, the moon will have moved through Cancer and into Leo, creating a slight opposition to the Mercury position. This shift will give you perspective. The fog will clear. You'll be able to see both sides more objectively. In the meantime, sit with the discomfort. Feel the tension between logic and emotion. Don't rush to resolve it. The answer isn't in choosing one side over the other. It's in finding the adjustment that honors both. The adjustment is where the magic lives. You see, the quincunx isn't about choosing between two impossible options. It's not about picking the scary future or the safe past. It's about finding the third option, the bridge that makes both energies work together. Let me show you what this looks like in the real world. Imagine a job offer lands in your lap. Your logical Aquarius mind screams, "Take it, this is the future, this is growth." But then, your Cancer heart pulls the brakes. The commute is too long. I need to be home with my family. I can't sacrifice that. Most people would just say no, but the awakened soul finds the adjustment. You negotiate remote work days. You use technology, the Aquarius solution, to protect your family time, the Cancer need. You don't compromise, you innovate. Or take a financial scenario. An investment opportunity appears that looks massive, but it feels terrifyingly risky. Instead of gambling everything or running away in fear, you make the adjustment. You create a safety net first to satisfy your need for security, and then you invest a specific, manageable amount. You take the calculated risk without destroying your foundation. It happens with your energy, too. Maybe a creative project excites your genius, but you're already exhausted and overwhelmed. The old you would quit. The new you finds the adjustment. You automate or delegate the busy work, using Aquarius innovation to create the space for the rest and nourishment your Cancer soul is craving. Do you see the pattern? The wrong offer isn't actually wrong. The parameters just need to be tweaked, and that specific conscious adjustment, that is exactly where the opportunity lives. Why this particular twist is the biggest opportunity of 2026. Here's what makes tomorrow's aspect uniquely powerful. It's happening in the context of massive outer planetary shifts. 4 days ago, on January 26th, Neptune entered Aries for the first time in 165 years. This is a generational shift. The collective dream is being rewritten. Our understanding of identity, spirituality, and what's possible is dissolving and reforming. We're in a fog right now. The old world is fading, but the new world hasn't fully crystallized yet. Tomorrow's Mercury-Jupiter quincunx is a lightning bolt of clarity in that fog. It's a specific, tangible decision point in a month of massive, intangible shifts. The wrong offer isn't random. It's a scout from the new reality. It's showing you what's possible in this Neptune in Aries era. But it looks strange because it belongs to a timeline that's just beginning. This is why rejecting it out of fear would be such a profound mistake. You'd be choosing the safety of the old world over the opportunity of the new one. And by the time everyone else catches up, by the time the new reality becomes clear and comfortable, the early opportunities, the ones that required courage when nothing made sense, those will be gone. The pattern breaker, why discomfort is the signal. Let me be very clear about something. If the offer arriving tomorrow feels comfortable, easy, and aligned with your current life, it's probably not the one I'm talking about. The signature of this transit is discomfort, cognitive dissonance, the feeling that something doesn't fit. Because here's what Jupiter in Cancer retrograde does in its shadow expression. It keeps you small. It creates a womb-like stasis where you're comfortable but stagnant. You're safe, but you're not growing. Mercury in Aquarius is the midwife. It's trying to birth you into a new version of yourself, a new level of reality. But birth isn't comfortable. It requires leaving the womb. The wrong offer is the contraction. It's uncomfortable. It feels like pressure, like something forcing you out of a space you've been inhabiting. But that pressure isn't trying to harm you. It's trying to move you. And if you can recognize that the discomfort is actually the signal, that the thing you're resisting is exactly what you need, you'll step into an opportunity that most people will miss entirely. The technology versus tradition paradox. One of the key themes of this Mercury-Jupiter quincunx is the tension between innovation and tradition, between technology and emotional connection, between the future and the past. The offer you receive might embody this tension directly. Maybe it's using AI or automation to free up time for your family. Maybe it's leveraging social media to grow a business that supports your home life. Maybe it's accepting a remote position that gives you financial security and location freedom. The Cancer part of you will resist because it feels cold, digital, disconnected, but the Aquarius part understands that these tools, when used correctly, can actually create the very security and freedom that Cancer craves. This is the paradox. Sometimes the most emotionally intelligent decision is the one that feels emotionally uncomfortable at first. Your inner voice just got an upgrade. Something else is happening tomorrow that I need to mention. When Mercury forms this aspect with Jupiter, your internal dialogue shifts. Jupiter rules beliefs, philosophy, and the bigger picture. When it touches Mercury, even through a hard aspect like the quincunx, it expands your thinking. You might notice that the voice in your head sounds different tomorrow, clearer, more authoritative, less cluttered with doubt. This is your higher mind coming online. The part of you that can see beyond the immediate fear, beyond the emotional reaction, beyond the surface-level assessment. If you're hearing a voice that's calm, direct, and certain, even when everything feels uncertain, listen to it. That's not anxiety or overthinking. That's guidance. The old voice says, "This is too risky. Stay safe. Don't rock the boat." The new voice says, "This is exactly what you've been preparing for. The discomfort is growth. Move forward." Trust the new voice. It's speaking from a timeline you haven't fully stepped into yet, but you're about to. The ultimate question you must ask. Before I give you the final piece, I want you to ask yourself one question. What would I do if I knew the discomfort was temporary, but the opportunity was permanent? Because that's exactly what this is. The friction you're feeling tomorrow, that wrong sensation, that emotional resistance, that cognitive dissonance, it's temporary. It's a symptom of transition. But the opportunity, if you seize it, if you make the adjustment, if you say yes, even when it feels uncomfortable, that compounds, that grows, that becomes the foundation of your next chapter. Most people let temporary discomfort stop them from permanent transformation. Don't be most people. Tomorrow is your test, and the universe is watching. Here's the final truth. Tomorrow isn't just about one offer. It's about proving to yourself and to the universe that you're ready for what's coming. 2026 is a threshold year. Neptune in Aries, Saturn moving into Aries in February, massive outer planet shifts that are rewriting reality itself. The people who recognize tomorrow's wrong offer as the right opportunity. They're the ones who will surf these waves. They're demonstrating their willingness to adjust, to grow, to trust the plot twist. The universe is testing your flexibility right now. Can you pivot? Can you hold two seemingly contradictory truths at the same time? Can you honor your need for safety while simultaneously stepping into the unknown? If you can, you're not just accepting one opportunity, you're activating an entirely new timeline. And when you look back 6 months from now, when you see how that one wrong offer unlocked everything else, you'll understand the discomfort was the doorway, the twist was the truth. The no you almost said would have been the biggest mistake of your year, but you said yes, you adjusted, you trusted the quincunx, and that made all the difference. If you're still watching, I'd like to thank you for your attention. If you enjoyed the content and want to see more, please consider clicking the subscribe button. Your support is very appreciated. Feel free to share your experiences or thoughts in the comments below. Until next time, take care and subscribe for more insightful content.